All right, the Grand Chess Tour is back in St. Louis, the chess capital of America, for a huge high-speed showdown. And let me tell you, day one was absolutely packed with drama, so let's just dive right in.
It's not just about tour points. These guys are fighting for a huge chunk of change. We're talking about a $175,000 prize fund. And get this, first place alone takes home a cool 40 grand. So yeah, the stakes, they could not be higher.
And I mean, what a field. You've got 10 of the world's absolute best players here. We're talking tour regulars like Fabiano Caruana and Wesley So. You've got some really dangerous wild cards in the mix, and of course, the reigning world champion himself, Gukesh Domoraju. All of them under one roof for 5 straight days of just intense battle.
The format itself is just built for drama. You've got 3 days of rapid chess to start things off. And here's the kicker. Wins in the rapid are worth double points, so there's this huge pressure on everyone to get on the board early. After that, it's 2 absolutely frantic days of Blitz. That's just a pure test of your speed, your nerves, your stamina, the whole shebang. So the big story coming out of day one? It really all comes down to one player's absolutely perfect start. And that player was Levon Aronian. With all the chaos going on, all these crazy decisive games, one veteran just rose above it all. After 3 really intense rounds, Levon Aronian was the only one left with a perfect score. He's just setting this blistering pace, and now everybody else has to try and catch him.
And the commentary team on the ground, they absolutely nailed it. They said a confident Levon is a lot more dangerous. And that's exactly what we're seeing. He's had a fantastic summer, and it looks like he brought all of that red-hot form right here to St. Louis.
And it's not just that he won, it's who he beat. This was not an easy day. He literally took down giants. He kicks off his day by beating the world champion, Gukesh. Then, he takes out the French #1, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. And just to top it all off, he finishes by beating the Uzbek prodigy, Notabek Abdusatorov. Come on. That is just a stellar, stellar performance.
So what's the end result of all that? A completely flawless day. 3 games played, 3 decisive wins. Simple as that. That perfect 6 out of 6 score, it puts him in the undisputed lead as we head into day 2. No question about it.
Okay, so while Aronian was just cruising along, the world champion's day, well, it was anything but smooth. Let's talk about Gukesh Domoraju's journey because it was rocky, but in the end, pretty successful.
Yeah, for Gukesh, his day was really a tale of 2 halves. He starts off with that really tough loss against Aronian, and you might think, oh no, this is going to be bad. But his response, it was just so impressive. He didn't crumble at all. Instead, he came roaring back with 2 super powerful, really stylish wins. Just like that, he's right back in the hunt.
And that second win, wow, it was something special. A real thing of beauty. He finishes the game with this spectacular queen sacrifice that forces checkmate. And just like the commentators said, this is the kind of move that's going to end up in tactics books for years to come. That right there, that's a true display of a champion's resilience. All right, speaking of drama, let's get to what was maybe the most unbelievable game of the entire day. A total roller coaster clash between 2 absolute titans that had everybody on the edge of their seats. So the backstory to this game is it's incredible. Fabiano Caruana is playing against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, and he just uncorks this totally shocking opening idea, something nobody saw coming. And when they asked him how long he'd been sitting on this idea, he just casually says, "Oh, I've had this prep for about 3 years or so." 3 years! And today was the day he finally decided to unleash it. And the game itself, man, it was pure cinema. So Fabi's 3-year-old idea works perfectly. It leads to this devastating attack. He gets a completely winning position. It looks like a total disaster for MVL. But then, at the most critical moment, Fabi misses the final killer blow. It was a really subtle king move. That one tiny slip, that was all MVL needed. He stages this miraculous escape, and somehow saves a draw from a completely lost position. Just unbelievable.
Okay, so after all of that action, all that drama, where do things actually stand? Let's take a quick look at the tally from an absolutely incredible first day of chess.
Well, the numbers from day one really tell a story of pure aggression. Get this, Out of 15 games played, a whopping 12 of them had a winner. That's an 80% decisive rate. It just goes to show the incredible fighting spirit we saw. These players, they came here to win, not to make a bunch of quiet draws. They came for blood. So here's how it all shakes out on the leaderboard after that first big skirmish. You've got Aronian sitting all alone and perfect at the top with 6 points. But right on his heels is Fabiano Caruana with 5 points, and you just know he's kicking himself over that missed win. And then right behind them, you have a pack forming. The world champion, Gukesh, and the ever-solid Wesley So are both sitting there on 4 points, ready to pounce. It is just incredibly tight at the top.
So this all leaves us with a totally thrilling setup for the rest of the tournament, doesn't it? On one hand, you have the confident veteran on a perfect 3-0 run. On the other, you have the world champion who's already tasted defeat, shaken it off, and found his deadly form. It really is the big question on everyone's mind. Who is going to conquer St. Louis? We'll have to wait and see.